Record on this computer. Share the screen. Revit. Ito pala yung ginawa natin. Kaya pala nalito kayo about yung palengke. Ibang klase ko pala yun. Ibang section pala yun. Ibang section yun. Ibang klase pala yung ano. So ito yung ginawa natin last week. Okay? Kaya pala na sinabi kong bridge. Nalilito si ano. Dapat tayong ginawang bridge eh. So ito yung ginawa natin last week. Standalone. So we did a standalone structural modeling. Meron tayong footing. Tandaan nyo naman yan, di ba? Yung mga columns. Tapos we also did slabs na mayroong may opening. No? Yan, nag-cut din tayo dun sa mga structural wall ng opening. Yan. So all these components gagamitin natin when we do the structural model of the building that we have. Okay? Si Sir, wala siya ng architectural model eh. So pwede kang bigyan ni pwede mo siyang bigyan ng kopya, Sir, ng mo. O meron ka USB, or sa akin na lang, pakopyahin kita. May USB ka dyan.
Nagpakopya lang ni Sir niya.
Sige. Wala naman tayong problema. May USB ka dyan?
Wala, nariyo.
Ito, meron ako.
Ano kung title ng file, Sir?
Sinave natin sa Saturday Structures lang pinangalan ko sa kanya eh.
Kalimutan na.
Kalimutan sa bakasyon eh. Mukhang nag-Netflix ng gusto eh.
Ano yung file?
Saturday Structures.
Last sa listahan na Saturday Structures, no?
Oo. Saan ko ba sinesave to? Sa desktop lang to sa akin eh.
So wala sa...
Nandiyan na. So, Saturday, nasa na? So, wala dito Manalagay ito. Ito yata. Tingnan na natin location. In focus. Nasa in focus yun. In focus folder. Documents in focus 2023. Yan. Saturday structures. Ito. Tapos Saturday building. Ito din. Kopyahin ko. Kopyahin natin. Nasaan? Copy. Copy. Lagay ko lang dito sa folder ko. Ito ba yung folder ko? Okay. Ito nga. Paste ko lang dito. Ayan na. Kopyahin nyo na lang to.
Okay ba? Paano sir mag-kopya?
Copy lang, copy. Ito. Bigay ko sa inyo.
Akala ko wireless.
Pwede rin Bluetooth, pero mahina internet natin ngayon. Saturday structures saka Saturday building. Mukhang kailangan magkape muna tayo bago tayo magsimula, no? Ano pa medyo nakawindang pa yun. Kape muna tayo. Wala namang customer online eh. Wala naman nakakonik eh.
Puro bakasyon sir.
Bakasyon pa yung isip eh. Kape muna tayo. Nakatulog ako kaya ako ulit. Sabi kasi yung mga service provider, galing ng mag-sales. So, pero yung actual service nila, pag sabi na rin, yung mga asgar, siya pa yung sa role sa meron sa most sila pa sa medyo mas mahirap lang sa dahil na mga problema. Dahil sa kanila o sa UCS. Yung pamilya ng pamilya, ano ako yung ano, ano yan, mga kailangan na paling mga file, tapos yung mga folder file, tapos ano klase? Kasi gusto mo na o parang matami? Hindi naman masyadong mabigat kasi nag-sobrang na yung kailangan magulong na ako dahil nabibili ko. Ano, dahil yung civil works, dapat pero palitagi lang ito. Iba, bahaya. Dalawang oras lang. Oo, may trabaho. Seven. Master na. Pareho pala yung kapalaran natin dyan. Oh, ganyan na nga yung sitwasyon ngayon eh. Sitwasyon ngayon. Ako naman, okay. First month, second month, okay pa. Medyo kakayanin pa. Pero pagka humaba na, problema na.
Dito ba yung pamilya mo, sir?
Oo, nandito eh.
Nasa face niya yung anak mo?
Hindi, online lang yung mga anak ko. Hindi ko na binalik sa...
Mahirap yan. Yung nakaupo dito, architect ba yun?
Oo, hindi lang.
Parang nakita ko kahapon
Ano yun? BOT.
BOTS, sabi ko.
Sabi sa'yo. So, nagpa-graduation din kayo kahapon?
Hindi ako kahapon, grade 10. Siya din, convocation. Sabi ko, ang pamilya ko.
BOT yun.
Naka-BOT.
Oo. Kaya nandun siya ngayon kasi may graduation pa yung
Sa
isang...
April.
Oo, yung isang batch.
Ano pangalan mo, sir?
Jomel.
Architect?
Architect.
BOT pala yun, sabi ko.
BOT yun. Dating presidente din namin yan ng samahan ng architect dito, ng UAP. 2 years din siya nag-term nun. Okay. Wala naman nagko-connect sa atin. Pero we are recording, so tuloy na natin. So what you see on my screen is the previous exercise we did. No? So remember what we did. Do you have any question dito sa last time? Matandaan pa naman. Anyway, marireview na natin. We'll review this when we do it on the actual building. Okay? So I will close this file now. So just remember, when we create something in a structure, it comes from the level going down. So in architectural, from the level going up. So it serves as the support. So now we will start a new file, which will be a template. Okay, let's go to the English template. Default, structural default. Nasaan na? Go for the structural analysis. Yan, ito lang. It's called structural analysis default metric. Yan, this template. Okay, it's in that folder. Then click open. New project. Okay. Ayan, all right. So the workflow that will follow is we will bring the architectural model as a link. Lilink natin yan. So we'll insert the link file. I'll go to my folder, documents in focus, and Saturday building. Yeah. Okay. Then the positioning will just be auto internal origin to origin. Then click open. Ayan. So you already have the link. Okay. If we look at the 3D view, you already have the building. Okay. Don't be surprised if you don't see some of the other elements. No? Some of the other elements cannot be seen because they are just switch off in the visibility graphics. Yung VG natin, may mga naka-off lang dyan. See, if I check VV, visibility graphics, makita nyo, some of the elements are switched off. Casework means furnitures and etc. And doors are switched off, see? So ngayon, if I switch on the doors, look, just as, for example, click apply and okay. Yeah, the doors are there. Okay, but when you are preparing the structural model, you don't really need to see the doors. So that's the reason they have switched off the doors. So we'll just switch it off. But I think we need you already have the floors here. We need the walls maybe. So let's put up the walls. Double. Yeah, we're recording. Ayan, may naman pula eh. Hindi ko, kaya lang mahaba break nito eh. Gaganon mo para abutin yung habang nagkakape tayo kanina. So, click natin yung walls. So, if you can see, some of the walls are switched off actually. Yan, naka-hidden siya eh. Ano? Hidden yung pattern niya eh. So, if you want to change that, saan na? It will be changed, no? But for now, let's keep it that way and just click cancel. All right. Okay naman tayo sa ganyan. So if you remember, dun sa in our architectural model, we did not put the grid yet. Do we have a grid there? Wala, no? Architectural, we don't have a grid. Meron ba tayong grid doon? Let's try. Let's open the architectural. But usually, this is the link, so that we should have the grid. Let's check the grid in the floor plan. Ayun, meron na palang grid. So it's there. So what we will do is we will borrow the grid of the architectural model because there is no grid in the structural model. We cannot create the columns. If you remember in the sample, in the plan that we did last week, when we place the columns, we have grids, no? Because we place the columns on the grid. So we need to create a grid and level also for the structural model. But we will not be creating it from scratch. We will copy it from the link model. So if you look first here in our elevation, in the north elevation, we have the levels already, right? See, if you will notice in the elevation, you can see the doors, even the plants and the cars are there. Okay? So because it has a different visibility graphic settings. Okay. So on this part, if I look deeply here in the levels, I see two levels that are belonging to the structural model, which is this. Itong dalawang to. I can actually click this and move them away because I have actually two levels. Yeah, see, it's level 1 and level 2, the by default levels. So what I can do now is I will modify this to match the level of the architectural model. So it's 4,000 for level 2. So I'll just modify this and type 4,000. Okay. So there are two ways to create your own structural levels. It's either you just copy this and align it to the other levels, or we copy from the link, which is faster. So you go to your collaborate tab here. Then we use the tool copy monitor. Click copy monitor and choose select link. Yeah. We'll select the link, which is this link. Then we start copying. Click copy and then select this level. It's copying now. Then this level, and that level. Okay, you will see that symbol, it is being copied and monitored. Okay. What is the reason we have this monitor? If you change the height of the levels, it will send the report to Revit that you have changed the level, because it is critical in construction that you have the similar level. Okay, so now we have already copied that. We can actually now move these levels and align it to the other levels that we have. Yeah, we can align it there now. So now these are our structural levels. Okay, we have now the roof and level. Yeah, we don't see it yet here. So how do we do that? But first, let's finish the process of copying. Finish that. So for us to see the level 3 structural plan up to the roof, in the project browser, what do we do? Tandaan nyo ba yan? View. Okay, right? View. But this time, plan views, structural plan naman. Okay? We go to structural plan and we get all of these levels. And click OK. See, it will now turn blue. It's now blue because the levels are already there. It will also help if we select all these levels and pin them, so that we're sure that it will not be moved. Okay. So now we have our levels. We don't have the grid yet. So let's create the grid using the same process. So let's go to level 1 and do the same thing. Collaborate and copy monitor. Use the link. Select this link. This time we'll copy again. Okay, natin tong isa-isa lang. 1. Takes time to copy. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 grids, and then the vertical grids, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we already copied that, and then we click finish. Yeah. So that for us to just to identify the structural model, let's just move it away from the, sorry, let's move it away from the architectural grid. Similar way to this. Baba lang natin yan. Okay? So the architectural grid is still there, and we have copied it as a structural grid. So to be sure it was not moved, like what we did earlier, we'll just pin this. Click pin. Alright? So we know what to do now. What to do next? Create our columns. No? Let's say, but actually we need one more level. If you go to the elevation, for the structure, di pala natin na-copy yung basement level, na? So we need to copy this basement level. Hindi ko na i-monitor, copying ko na lang. I'll just copy this. Align it here. Okay. So that's the basement. I'll rename this as basement level. -4. So actually we need another level which will be the footing level of our structure. So let's create another level. Copy this. Another 4 meters maybe. Let's name this as top of footing. In actual construction, usually if the building is this high, we need to have those pilote, no? So, but we'll just keep it simple. We'll just make a isolated footing for the building. So our grid, let's make sure that the grid goes down all the way to the basement level. Same pin, spin, move it down, yeah, so that it touches the bottom level. And then let's go to the east elevation. Do the same thing, select that, unlock, unpin, and then push it down. Okay. We can also adjust the levels here, the right hand side. Lock and unpin, unlock, and then move it. Ayaw. Sorry. Levels lang pala. Levels, unlock. Where's the pin? But ayaw. It's pinned. Okay. Move one pin. And let's move this here. Yeah, sa pang batch, pa-pin. We can move it like that. Okay. Okay, then we can now again pin them. Pa-pin naman. Let's just pin that. Okay. Okay, so now let's go to our basement level, which is not here. Again, we'll do what we did earlier. View, plan view, structural plan. Let's get the top of footing and basement level. Okay. Ayan na yung level natin. Okay, so let's go to basement level. And let's create our columns. Okay. So under structures, by default, we have steel column and rectangular column. So let's use some rectangular column right now. Let's say at the basement level, let's use some big ones, 600 by 450. How to do that? At grids, no? We'll just click at grids, then select all the grid. Ayun na, meron na tayong poste. So we have the columns, and then click check. Okay. So for example, you have grids, the columns here that you don't need, you can just delete them. But for the purpose of this class, we'll just keep all of these grids for all of these columns for now. So once you place your columns, check your 3D model. But before that, let's select all the columns. So all the columns are highlighted, and then let's look at the 3D view. Yeah, so we already created the columns. So the columns are placed from the basement floor going down to the top of footing, which is good because that serves as the foundation. Okay, so now we can place our footing to each of the columns. So, punta na tayo ngayon. So, let's go to our top of footing level and then we create the footing. We'll just use the isolated footing under the structure tab. Click isolated and then choose the maybe use the big one, 2.4 by 1.8. And then what we'll be using is add columns. Click add columns, select that, and then you already have the columns in place. And then finish. In the 3D view, it looks like this now. Yeah. Right? So we have this. This is your shaded. Okay? You'll have that footing. Okay. So now what we'll do is we will copy the columns. Select all instances visible in view. So it will select all the columns. And what we'll do, we'll just copy it. Copy to clipboard and paste it, align to selected levels. So the levels that we'll place it to will be level 1. Okay, level 1. Click OK because we start from the top going down. So we already have that. So let's say we agree that we'll use the same size. So it's okay. Then the same column, we'll place it on the upper floor. So it's still copied actually. So we can paste it again to level 2. Click OK. Ayan na yung level 2. Alright, so we have that level 2 columns. Let's say we decided that this column should be a little bit smaller for the purpose of structural, but I think it should still be this much, no? Let's just change it on the upper floor. So let's copy and paste again. Align it to level 3. Okay, so those are the columns at level 3. This time, let's make them smaller. Let's use the 300 by 450. Ayan. The same thing, copyahin natin ito again. Let's copy it and then paste it to the another level, which is level 4 and level 5. Let's put them there and up to the roof actually and click OK. Then we already placed them up to the roof level. Do we need columns on the roof? I think we don't need columns. Kailangan natin. We need it on the other side where we have this slope roof. No? So what we'll do, we'll just remove them manually. So we can just select that and delete those columns that we don't need here. Manual na lang. And some of the columns that we don't need, we can just select this and delete it. Don't need that there. Okay? Manual na lang. Actually, there is a parapet here, but I don't think we need that big of a column. Then we don't need this also. Okay. And these other columns, we need to shorten them. So later on, we'll adjust that. Some other columns that we don't need, just manually delete them. Okay, so here maybe we'll decide later on. We don't know yet where the roof is. Okay, so we already have the columns and the footing. What is next? So let's create some tie beam at the bottom floor para wag naman matumba, no? For additional support. So let's create a beam at top of footing. Yeah, let's go to top of footing. Gawa natin ng tie beam all around. So dito lang. Maybe just this one, yung pa all around and then yung sa gitna. So let's go to beam. And we have here, by default, you have the steel beam and the concrete beam. So we have the 400 by 800. So let's use this. So to create a beam, you just need to click on the edge of the column from here, going to the other side. Yan, hintay mo lang. Then that's the column, the beam already. So you can do that and click that there. You might ask, why don't we just do it from end to end? There will be a clash in the concrete value. So that's why we're not doing it. Because it will double the value of the concrete at the column and also at the beam. So we don't want to do that. Yeah. Then we just keep doing this. Isa lang. You can also copy. Actually, you can just copy one beam and paste it to the other. But since it's not that much work, it's okay to do this one by one. Because sometimes we want to make sure that it is attaching to that edge. No? Structural modeling is easier than architectural modeling. I will undo that. So since you already know architectural modeling, this is easy now for you. The next thing that we'll be doing is our slab. And if you remember, we did a slab edge, right? Then we'll just do a slab edge. Let's try to copy the other column, the beam. So I will do like this. I will select, okay? Then filter. I will use the filter tool. I will remove the columns and I will remove the foundations. I have only the structural framing. Do we have a student online? Wala naman, huh? And then we click apply and okay. So that is only the beams. Then we can copy. I will copy from here. Somebody is connecting.
Oh.
Yan. So, kinonect ko lang siya doon. John Baidu. And maybe I'll copy. Hindi natin na-copy na. Pwede na yan, no? Matibay na ba yan, sir? Structural? May tie beam na tayo. Mr. John Baidu, how are you? Hindi na tayo naririnig, ah. Ko-connect pa yung audio niya, eh. Mr. John Baidu, how are you? Can you hear
I'm fine,
us?
sir. Yes, please.
Why you did not come today? It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. Don't worry. But the guys here miss you, okay?
Oh, I'm sorry to them all. Next week I will come.
Okay, no problem. You cannot see my camera because I don't have a camera here. So you'll just hear me, okay? All right.
Okay. But you can see me?
So just in case you don't hear me or anything happen, just send a message in the chat box here, okay?
Okay, sir.
All right.
But
Welcome.
can you?
Yeah?
You can see me?
Hi, we can see you. You're good looking, John Baidu. Your friend Kuya is waiting for you because he is alone today. Nobody is teaching him.
I'm so sorry. I'll come next week.
Okay, all right. So today we are creating the structural model of our building. Huh? So let's look at the 3D now. We already have this. Ang pangit pala ng beam natin. Mali nga, sir. Mali yung ginawa natin eh. It's wrong, right? So the beam should be on top of the footing. So what we will do, we can modify this. What is the thickness of our beam? It's 800, the height, no? So we'll select all the beam. Select all instances visible in view. We selected all the beam. So here we will modify it. We will add a start level offset of 800 and also an end level offset. That is the last end, which is 800 as well. Yeah. So I think this looks better now. It looks more proper. Okay. So if you want it in between the levels, we can increase the height. So let's do that again. Select everything in the view. And then let's add, maybe let's make it 1,800 or maybe 2,000. 2,000, at least it's in the middle point of the column. Oh, I think that looks better. Okay, so our structural engineer here, Kuya, have approved it. Okay, so there you go. We already have a beam. So next is to create a slab at the basement level. So let's go to the basement level. Yeah. So let's assume that the basement level floor will be from column to column. Okay. I don't know why did we do this at the architectural. So later on, maybe we will modify the architectural model, and since the bottom floor, the owner still owns some part of that land, so we can just use that as the basement level. So let's create a slab, structural foundation slab. Maybe we'll use the 300 mm thickness. Then it will be at the basement level, and then we'll just draw a rectangle from this grid up to this grid. Okay, so that will be our foundation slab at the basement level, and click check. How it looks like this now. Okay, so that will be our foundation slab. There is actually a clash between our slab and the architectural floor. But usually in actual practice, the structural slab is being used as the floor of the basement. We don't want to put additional screed there because usually it is being used as a parking area. So that usually they will just paint it with epoxy paint. So we don't really need to have an architectural floor at the basement level. So later on, we will tell the architect, you don't need to create a floor at the basement. You just delete your floor. You just use the structural floor. Okay, so that should be fine. Now we can create our, what can we do here? What should be the next thing? Ano yung kasama niya? Slab edge. So let's create a slab edge around the structural slab that we did. Should be easy. Jan Baidu can do this. Jan, are you using your laptop or you are on your phone?
I'm on my phone.
Okay. Anyway, don't worry. This is being recorded. You can watch this video later on. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Oh, you're walking, huh? You're in your house now? You don't have any visitor there or something?
Sorry?
Are you sure you don't have any visitor there?
No.
I mean,
Yeah.
your roommate. Maybe your roommate have a visitor today.
Make sure, ha? Mabuti ng ipin, sir.
Matibay mga ngipin nito dahil ano to eh. Ang kinakain nila doon ano eh. Ang standard pala na pagkain sa ano, sa Ghana. Kamuting kahoy, kasaba. Tapos meron silang tinatawag na gari. I'm talking about gari, Nana. Yung gari nila, kinayod na ano yun, kinayod na kasaba, tapos pinatuyo. Parang yun ang bigas nila. Binigyan niya ako sa bahay, kinain ko. Nasarap eh. Ang standard nila doon, pwede mong gamitin siya na parang oatmeal sa umaga.
Parang nangingitin ka na ngayon.
Oo. Malamang, naging ano na ako ngayon eh. So yun, lagyan mo ng gatas, kainin mo na parang cereals. So yun yung isa. Yung isa naman, lalagyan lang nila ng konting tubig, tapos ilalamasin nila para maging parang paste. Yun na yung kanin nila. Tapos ulam yan sa kung ano mang ulam. Isda or kung ano man.
Mga video
Oh, ganun.
parang
Oh, ganun.
medyo pinaka-carbohydrates.
Yun ang carb nila, kasaba. Yung Kenya, iba naman. Parang ganun din, nilalamas din. Kaya lang yung Kenya, sinasaing. Tapos, ano yung Kenya? Corn. Sila kasaba. Corn yung mais, yung Kenya eh. So pagka sinain nung Kenya yon, laki, araw mo malaking gaw-gaw na, na paste. Tinatambak lang na ganyan eh. Kasi kukuha sila niyan, lagay sa ulam, kain nila ganyan. Heavy, solid.
Kaya pala matitibay.
Okay, matitibay, compact eh. Tayo kanin eh. Minsan lugaw pa nga. Kaya malambot.
Iba yung nilalapas eh.
Iba naman yung nila. Kaya malambot ang Pinoy eh. Tapos sa kanila, sila may kanin din sila. Nagsasaing din sila eh. Kaya lang, ginagawa nila doon sa kanin nila, bago nila i-serve, dinuturog din. Tapos ginagawang ball. O, gagawin nila ang bola. Ganun din. Mukhang tamad gumuya itong mga to eh. Gusto lulunokin na lang. No?
Kaya pala matitibay nito sir.
O, siguro. Hindi ginagamit pag nguya eh. Okay, so let's continue. John, we were talking about Gary.
I'm eating Gary now.
Yeah,
right
so
now.
next week you have to bring some Gary, so we will let them taste Gary. Okay? He's eating Gary now. We have to bring some Gary next week. Gary photo.
Yeah.
So we'll give them some Gary photo, okay?
Okay, I'm eating some right now.
Wait,
Okay.
ka naman ha?
Okay, all right. Pinakain ko to ng KFC. First time doon niya kumain ng KFC sa buong buhay niya eh. Tuwan-tuwa eh. Meron din daw KFC sa kanila, kaya lang mahal. Matipid to mga ano eh. So we'll remove some of the other columns that we don't need. Pero ano sila eh, nag-invest. Napunta dito yan, bumili ng visa niya sarili niya eh. Sumastos. Wala pa, naghahanap pa ng trabaho to eh.
Kayo lang yata yung trabaho din
Oh, AAP lang ang sakalam ngayon eh. Okay.
Kasi project manager sir eh. Ano?
Ibang klase. So now let's go to the ground floor, level 1, and let's do the same slab. Simple slab. This time we will follow the architectural lines of the architectural slab. So let's do the slab. We'll just use this tool, pick lines, and then choose the lines of the architect's floor. Asa na? Ito. This one. The exterior line. This. Just one by one. Ito na. Sablay-sablay yung architect's model. Anyway, in Revit, we don't really worry about, having it really super correct because we know that we can easily modify the model later on. Okay. That's the floor. I think we should choose the edge, right? Because that's where the wall is. Okay. Select this and let's delete this. Okay, that is closed. We have to make sure that the lines are closed. Select this line as well. And now let's, I think we need to delete this and select this line. Okay, looks like it's closed. Oh, not yet. Let's choose this and that. Yeah, it looks like it's closed now. We can click check. Oh, there's a message saying lines cannot intersect each other. So there's a problem. Revit will tell you where the problem is. You can actually see it. If you zoom in, there is a line which is orange. So it will not let you do things that are wrong. So you just click continue. Don't click with quick sketching because otherwise it will stop the process. Just click continue. Then you modify what you need to modify here. So it seems like there's a problem here. See there, it is not connected to that. So we just use our trim to extend corner. Click there and here and there. It's now connected. Let's check here. Ito sobra naman sa isa. So if there's an overlap and there's a missing line, so you need to close that. So I think you already studied that in architectural floors, right? It's similar. Click that and that. And seems like here also we have a missing line. There's a gap. We close that. So now we seem to have solved the problem. We click check. Yun, meron pa. So there's a problem, not connected. Click continue. And then we just click and click there. So we'll find out if there's still more problem. Oh, so there's no problem. We'll save this now as our Saturday building underscore str for structural. Okay. And options is 3. Click OK and save it. Okay. All right. So if we look now at our 3D model, in the 3D, we already have the slab for the ground floor. Okay. So our floors for level 2 up to the roof is typical. So we just need to actually copy that on the other floors. No? But here, our problem is we did not give it an offset. It is now clashing with the architectural floor. So what we need to do is give it an height offset of minus 150 because the thickness of the architectural floor is 150. So we go down 150 millimeter below it. So that's it. So now we don't have any clash. Our slab now is placed. If I shade this, our slab is now placed just under the architectural floor. Yeah. This is our structural slab. This is the architectural slab. Okay.
Sa akin, sir, mga ano eh. Ipis lang yung
Yeah.
structural lang yun, ano? Hindi
Yeah. Here we usually we are now using flat slab. We don't use any beams here. No? Sometimes we need some drop panels, but in general we use like maybe 250 thick slab because that will already have the double reinforcement. So it's like a big.
May hidden pin din siya.
Hmm?
Pendles lang. May hidden pin din siya.
Oh, some actually in Musharrif, we had a problem before that we had to make the structural slab to be really thin, 125 mm. This is very thin. So you don't have any option but to have it as pre-stress, no? Post-tensioning. So there are like really, yung cable. So there are cables running through it and post-tension. They asked me to inspect the post. I did not go because it's dangerous. It's post-tensioning. Baka pumitik yun eh. Di ba? I told them I will not go there. I don't have insurance.
Maraming ano dyan sa project natin, yung maintenance sila ng mga slab.
Oo, yan.
So pag nagkukuring, iniwasan, ano?
Oo, iniwasan. Naka-ano yan eh. Minsan pa nga, nire-request pa yung x-ray. Diba? To make sure na, lalo pag mali, pag wala silang tiwala sa as-built drawing, they have to x-ray. Ang dami namin yan noon sa Musharrif, nasa Hyundai ako. There are cases na some of the structural walls needed to be cored kasi hindi, ang gumawa ng HBK. HBK did the structural, they don't care about all the sleeves that are required by the MEP. So during the architectural and MEP works, they have to find where the reinforcements are so that they can easily core the wall. Sobrang mahal nun. Pag x-ray, it's very expensive because they will mark where the structural steel is. Okay. So just to make our life faster, we will copy the floor and put it on the upper floor and then modify it. Okay. So we'll select this level 1 structural floor. We copy it on the clipboard. and paste it, align it to the selected level, which is level 2. Click OK. Yeah, there is our floor, but obviously you know that we need to cut it, okay? And also in the staircase, we need to cut it. But we'll do that later on. We'll also make a shaft similar to how we did it in the architectural, okay? But we just need to modify it based on the architectural floor. Let's go to the level 2 floor plan right now. Yeah. So we know that this is our architectural floor, and this is our where is our structural? This is our structural floor. So we'll edit the sketch, and we will copy the our architectural wall. I'll just click this pick lines. We click this edge and that edge. I'm sorry, that and that. Okay, and where else? Seems like it's okay now. We'll just make sure that we trim. I'm using this tool. Yeah. And then okay. There is a line here that is supposed to be removed. Remove it. We don't need that. Then here we have a missing line. We should have at least a line here. So we can just also draw a line here. Draw a line. Then we can connect it together. Okay. That is connected now. So hopefully there is no hole or any gap. And then we click check. Yun. Revit found an error there. So we discontinue. I think we doubled the line. There. No? There's a extra line. So we just use this tool. Trim extend to corner. Click and click. So hopefully there's no more issue. Click check and we're done. Okay. So now let's look at the 3D. There is our, so tama na, no? We have our structural floor and then the architectural floor. Architectural floor is usually made of the finish and the screen. Okay. So it looks okay now. So we can just copy this to the other floors. Copy this and paste it to level what? 3, 4, 5, and 3, 4, 5. Click OK. 3, 4, 5. So there you go. You already have the structural floor. So we just need to do one more thing, which is the shaft to open this slab. So what we do, let's go now to, let's say, level 1. Then we use the shaft. We also have the same command in the architectural. So click shaft, and then we just draw a rectangle from here to where? To here. Sana? Thing here. Okay. Then let's keep this at level 1, which is correct, and maybe we'll just make it minus 500 to make sure it cuts the opening. And the end top constraint will be at level 5. Okay. And let's give it a top offset of 500. Okay. Then click check. This is now your 3D. So we already have the shaft. If you look closely now, we already have the hole. So there's no more issue with the staircase. Okay. So this time, the engineer is done preparing his initial model. Of course, he still need to do this. Maybe adjust it a little bit. Okay. You need to lower it so that it will not protrude on the road. So let's give it maybe an top offset of minus, let's say, minus 1,000. Okay, so it's now there, the bottom. Okay, it looks like it's okay. Yeah. All right. So the structural model is somehow completed. I think we need retaining wall, right? Retaining wall at the basement. Usually the wall at the basement is structural for load, the lateral loads. So let's go to the basement and let's create a structural wall which is this. And let's choose a thick wall, 300 mm concrete. And let's just draw it straight away from here. Now we can just draw a rectangle from here up to here. Keep it simple. Okay. Then let's look at the 3D. You already have that, but it's a bit, let's select all of it, select all instances in the view. And then let's make sure that it goes up to the ground level, which is this, up to the floor. So it's from the basement, it should reach up to level 1, okay? And there should be no offset, this should be 0. So that is now the column, okay? So, yeah, so there's still some issue here. Later on, we can modify that. So maybe the architect can put the planter box here if he wants to use it as a planter box. But let's submit this now to the architect and let him comment. Okay. So the architect, the structural model initially is done. Make sure we save it. And then we close the file. Now let's go back to the architect, Saturday building. So the architect's building would look like a real building now because we'll put on the structural component.
May mga calculations ka ng sa structural third party rin yun.
Structural calculations and analysis is usually done by another software, but the Revit model can be used as the model for them to do the calculations. Revit structures is compatible with Autodesk Robot. There's a software called Robot Structures, which is similar to STAAD. So it can calculate all the structural calculations using that. I will show you also later on what the structural model, the analysis model of the structural model that we did earlier. So let's look at the 3D view of this architectural model. Let's remove this section box. Yeah, so this is the architectural model that we did to the basement. And now let's bring in the structural model that we did. Similar way, we insert, link the file. So we'll bring in the Saturday structures. Saturday building structure, which is this. Internal origin to origin is the positioning, and click open. So it's there now. So we are expecting you, yun pala yung bubong natin, ayun, there's the roof. Okay, so obviously we need to do some adjustments on some of our columns. Okay, so now we can see that we have the basement, nice basement already. You like the basement, John, by 2? John?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I can see it.
All right, that's good. Nakalubog naman pala sa lupa yung ano eh. So our ground is this actually. So we're okay. So this is now the architectural model with the structural model, the initial coordination being done by the architect and the engineer. So obviously maybe some of these columns are not required. These 3 columns may not be required. They can be deleted because we will be creating a steel, we can just create a steel truss here. No? We can truss for the roof, and maybe we'll need 1 beam here to connect from here up to there. Okay. So that is the current status. Okay. Pwede na uli mag-lunch break. Magkape. So that's it. We did 1 part. So we'll take a short break. Okay, John Baito, you can have your Gary break now. You can have your Gary photo. You like it, Mr. John?
Yes, it's nice.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
Okay. Where is your friend?
He's here. Nana. Nana. Nana.
Nana also.
Yes, Nana also.
I
Nana
have
big
two
head.
Nana. No.
This is Nana big head.
What's his name?
Nana.
Nana also.
Yes,
Jan,
yes. Yes,
he is more good looking than you. Voila.
his head is big. That is why.
But what is his real name? What is your real name?
His name is Nana Owusu.
Nana?
Owusu Samuel Owusu.
All right. Okay, nice to meet you, man. See you soon. All right. He's staying in your house now, John?
Yes.
He's staying in your room?
Yes.
Okay, very nice. All right.
Another room.
But you're still in the same building, same location?
Yes, please.
Okay. So no more visitors today? Your roommate don't have any visitors?
No.
No visitor, huh? Okay. All right. Okay, we'll take a short break. Okay, you can take coffee or whatever you want. You can have gari if you want. Gari soaking with ground nuts.
Yes.
Oh, John, I will cut this meeting, okay? I will cut because I have only remaining 10 minutes. I will cut this. I'll stop the share. Then I will share another meeting link, okay?
Okay. Sir.
Okay, all right. And the WhatsApp group, okay? I'll put it there. All
Okay,
right.
sir. Thank
See you.
you. Okay, sir.
Stand by too.